What is going on, everybody? Star Wars Dad back for another video. Today we're going to be checking out Jango Blue, which is a little bit of spice. This deck popped up recently in the PQs last weekend, and it was a finalist in a decent-sized tournament, I believe. Before we get started with today's video, please make sure to join my Patreon as a free member or as a paid member. If you're a paid member, obviously you'll have access to all of the deck lists that I post. I post a new deck list almost every day. Here's one that I did a while ago. So each deck has the deck list. If there's any videos on it, then I kind of break down the deck, the card choices, why they're in there, kind of talk about things, and then talk about the sideboard and maybe board and all that good stuff. So please check that out, even as a free member if you can't do the $5 a month. And please, 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 if you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, as it helps me to keep making great content and helps the channel to grow. I greatly appreciate it. So first, let's take a look at this Jango Blue list. It finished second place in a 55-person tournament. I thought this list was very interesting, and it got me thinking about this archetype. I definitely didn't like that it was 60 cards. I'll just say that the only deck that I think that 60 cards in the main board can make sense almost is Chancellor Palpatine Blue, because you do draw so much in that deck that 60 cards doesn't feel like you're really sacrificing too much consistency. Plus, you're trying to fit so much into that deck because you're getting like the best hero cards and the best villainy cards in blue. So that deck makes a little more sense, but this one not so much. But I mean, it apparently worked for him, and I think that just is probably attributed to playing this a lot and knowing his deck very well. I think when it gets into like lists that are a little different like that, it's more about how much time you put into it. So clearly he's put a lot of time into this list. I did think this list was cool though, like the concept of it. So he's using like a decent amount of underworld units. Let's see, 3, 4, 7, 9, 11, 12, because there's one on the sideboard. 3 of these, so 15, 17, 18, yeah, and then 20. So 20 underworld units. So that's why he has a couple McClunky, and then he has the Street Ring Recruiter to pull them back, which is an interesting card. I haven't seen that card played before. But the cool, when you're using Jango in these colors, like the cool thing is you can exhaust units while playing units, depending on what you play. Clearly, with Elite Starfighter, you can exhaust them, and then you're playing a lot of removal. He's playing a ton of removal. So he's definitely more on the control side of things, but it is, I would say, kind of leaning towards soft control because it's 30 units and 20 events and 10 upgrades. So, but it's definitely like a control style deck, but it plays more units than a typical hard control list. So somewhere in between. I did play around with this list a little bit just to kind of see, but I made some changes because to fit my playstyle more and kind of how I would do it, but I did really like the idea behind this list. So getting into my list. So I kind of looked at my old Boba Blue list. I looked at his list and kind of, with Jango's ability in mind. And I feel like with a list like that, ambush units are really good because you can just come out of nowhere and exhaust one of their units on the ground. Obviously, Elite Starfighter's good. Death Trooper's good also, because you can just play it and exhaust any unit on the ground, which is amazing because you're advancing your board state while exhausting theirs. Bosk is absolutely disgusting in here. Bosk is probably one of my favorite cards in this particular archetype because it does so many things for this deck. It's like the X factor. Like, it does so much. So it can ambush in and exhaust a unit. A lot of times it can remove a unit for you, right? If Snoke's out, obviously Bosk is just going to kill everything that's on the board. But, on the 5 resource turn, you can ambush and kill something, and exhaust something is your other option if you need to, like if it doesn't die for some reason, which is still very good. Then its ability comes into play, right? So in the previous Boba Blue versions, like, yeah, its ability is nice. Like, you can damage something for 2 when you use an event. So in this particular example, we're using a Vigilance to remove red 3, gain 5 life, then it triggers Bosk's ability, which we put 2 damage on Sabine, which exhausts it. So we're completely shutting down their turn. So Bosk can be like very, very good at just, once it gets out there and it's able to stick on the board, it just completely shut your opponent down while putting pressure on their base or continuing to remove threats if need be. This also synergizes really well with Death Trooper and Elite Starfighter because they're paying things. So that 2 damage that Bosk does, not only does it exhaust something, it also can just completely defeat something that if we've already started to set up those knockouts. Which is just, it's a lot of fun. This deck is a lot of fun. So the more I've played this, I'm really, really enjoying it. I can always tell, for me personally, like if I think a deck is good, because then I'll start to build it in real life, because I'm just like, okay, this feels legit, it feels fun, and then if it seems like it has a good, well-rounded matchup base. I mean, obviously it's going to take a lot of playtesting for that you to get good with this, because it is a little different. But so kind of getting into the list, so it does play 54 cards, but for me, with the Enticing Reward, with Cad Bane, with Dr. Pershing, you are drawing a good amount of cards, and trying to fit everything into this list is hard in a list like this, because you want to have your control answers, you want to have your restore effects, and you want to have cards that synergize with Jango. So I had to squeeze in a little bit more, but 54 for me is about the highest that I'll get in the main board. And I usually do that with a control list. Most other lists I'm playing 50 or 51 depending on the list. Tech is in here. I always play tech in my control list because it just makes too much sense. You pull it out from your resources at 6 resource, and then you have access to all your bigger payoffs, and then your removal spells as well, which is really good. So we're playing 1 restock in the deck. You could argue to put a second in the side, but because we're playing 3 Bounty Hunter Crew and we're playing Evacuate in the side also, for that, the Bounty Hunter Crew Evacuate combo, if you're not familiar with that, play Evacuate, then you play Bounty Hunter Crew, and you get your Evacuate back from the discard pile, and you can just keep doing that over and over again, and then mill out your opponent. So that's a good option for some matchups, but definitely not a main board option for me, at least. But 1 restock, just to you can get that back with Bounty Hunter Crew, of course, with the 3 that you play in the list. We're playing 2 in the main board to have access to multiple ways of getting our removal back from our discard pile. 3 top target, 2 Enticing Reward as an additional way to draw cards. 2 Inferno 4 as our turn 1, kind of set up our draws to look for those early removal and early interaction. And the great thing about Inferno 4 in here is, like, we're not just looking for Power of the Dark Side. We're looking for Elite Starfighter or Death Trooper, depending on what we're playing against, because then we can just exhaust their unit while advancing our board state. Even Cloud Rider is good in certain situations to find, because we can play Cloud Rider, kill a unit, and play like top target or Enticing Reward to set up for the next turn. Dr. Pershing, of course, is a great turn 1 play. You could argue you could play Entrenched in here, because then it gives Dr. Pershing legs as an ability to attack in. Also lets you draw longer. Having Dr. Pershing being able to attack in and kill things is actually pretty relevant, because your opponent doesn't see it coming a lot of times. So that's definitely an option to consider. Entrenched was one of the cards that I cut to try to make room for the deck to feel consistent for me. 3 Bazine, of course, just you always want to play Bazine in these colors. It's just an amazing card. 2 Cloud Rider as a turn 1 interaction just to remove their units. Also just good for exhausting powerful units on the ground later in the game for a cheap. Like if they have a Reinforcement Walker, you can just swing in for 3 damage out of nowhere, exhaust it, and just make sure that it can't attack, which is really nice. So until you find a piece of removal. Also what that does is it sets up, your ability to hit takedown more often on these bigger, like on a Reinforcement Walker, for example, they have 9 HP, so that we get down to 6. And then say we ping it the next turn with an Elite Starfighter, get it down to 5, exhaust it again, and then we set up a takedown. So it gives us time to exhaust things while we find the right pieces of removal, as we use our card draw and just our normal regular turn. 3 Power of the Dark Side, of course. The 2 Death Trooper, I did have it at 3 for a while, but I did want to squeeze in another Vanquish. I just feel like Vanquish is very good right now in the current meta. Helps you just to hit Ruthless Raiders, and Fell the Dragon does not, so that's one reason. And then there's just, units that get dark sabered, and then it just gives you multiple ways of making sure that you hit their big payoffs later in the game. You could even argue that a third copy of Vanquish is a good idea. 2 client, just to have an additional way of gaining life. 1 tech, of course. 3 perilous position is just in every blue deck I play 3 of that, and it fits the theme of this deck. So, you know, sometimes perilous position is better. Sometimes we just want to advance our board state. Like an example would be we have a Death Trooper or a perilous position. We want to keep the perilous position because it can go space or ground, and Death Trooper is limited to the ground as far as exhausting goes, and that's why there's only 2 copies of that, because it's good in certain situations, absolutely. And you should see that in some of the games from today. The 3 Starfighter is just absolutely amazing in here, because another thing that it does is when it dies, it pings, so then it exhausts. So we can kill something in space and then exhaust one of their units on the ground, for example, when it dies. So that's really sweet. 3 Vigilance, of course. You know, in the current aggro meta, we're still using Vigilance a lot just to gain 5 life and to try to stabilize in a deck like this. Obviously, against more mid-range and control, we're using it for multiple things, including mill. 3 takedown, 2 in the main, 1 on the side. You're bringing that in against a lot of decks, a lot of the more aggressive opponents. You could argue just to put the 3rd copy in the main board. It's not a bad idea. If you were gonna do that, I would say switch the Avenger out, just to be a little more proactive with your removal. And you can always pull your Avenger out of your resources later too, if you had to resource it early. One Fell the Dragon in the main, 1 on the side. 2 Vanquish in the main. And then I spoke about the Bosk already. The 2 Bounty Hunter crew, spoke about that a lot. But again, this also has Ambush, so that's another thing that's really great about it, is it exhausts the unit while getting a piece of removal back from our discard pile. 2 Fetch Fire Spray. I think it's necessary because of how much Fetch Fire Spray and Ruthless Raider are being played, and again, we can use it to exhaust things. We could exhaust their Fetch Fire Spray. We could exhaust their Ruthless Raider, which is really sweet, while setting up knockouts with perilous position, takedown, make an opening, bleed Starfighter, pings, whatever. 1 copy of Rival's Fall on the side. I do think that Rival's Fall is important. I don't think you should cut that from your list, because there are a decent amount of strategies where taking out the creature is extremely important. So I think it's still very important. Sabine is still very important, in my opinion. I've been Sabine players going to Dark Saber their Sabine, whatever they're able to play around with a lot of removal. So you want to have that copy in there, and the takedown's still going to do its job in a lot of cases, especially if you're swinging in and exhausting things. For example, if they play the Dark Saber, you can play a Cloud Rider to exhaust the Dark Saber unit, and then play the takedown Sabine. So stuff like that. 2 Cad Bane is very, very good in here, because without weakening a lot of their units, which the remaining HP is under that 8 threshold very easily in here, because they're pinging so many things. And then you know, obviously with Snoke out, it's even better. You just wipe their board with Cad Bane. I still think you need 2 Super Laser Blasts in the main board and 1 on the side, just because of some matches where, you know, decks that go wide are going to be one of your weaknesses with a deck like this, because we're more focused on individual. But that's where the Super Laser Blast came into play. When I was testing, I played a couple of decks that were wide. It made me want to make sure that I had that 3rd copy and 2nd in the main board. 2 Snoke is amazing. Again, you could argue to put a 3rd Snoke in the sideboard. Snoke just has so much synergy here with your, especially as when you get Snoke established, your Starfighters and your Death Troopers just come in and kill things, which is disgusting. All the advantage of board state, obviously, Bosk and Bounty Hunter are getting better as well. And Cad Bane probably is a strong argument to put a 3rd copy of Snoke in the sideboard. Avenger to kind of bring things home. You make it opening in the some cases. The third copy of Takedown, the second copy of Fell the Dragon, the third copy of Bounty Hunter Crew, second copy of Rivals Fall, then the Evacuate for the Evacuate combo, which I'm going to, we're not doing it as much in here because we're a little more unit focused, but it's still worth having in here occasionally. I guess that's the one card I would consider possibly putting the third Snoke in for, and then the third Super Laser Blast. But this deck has been really, really fun. It's been really good. It does take a significant amount of testing to kind of get a good feel for it. Just playing around with it at first. But I do think it has potential, and it's something we might see more of. We saw more of Boba Blue in set 1 and set 2. So especially set 1, I think it got really popular at the end of set 1. But let's get into some games so I can kind of show you how this deck works. Alright, up against Pre Vizsla Red. So this deck can actually be pretty aggressive, so looks like we have a really good hand though. I kinda wanna go Pershing to try to get some cards. Both of these are good because they ping a unit. I guess this is better because we can do both ground or space. Do we need the vigilance? I mean, it's a removal. I'm gonna pass on the vigilance because everything else is a little cheaper. Just kind of explore what we can do here. Okay. Which card are we resourcing? So ISB agent pings. I mean, we have 3 ways of pinging our opponent here. They don't even have a unit out though. The thing I like about ISB agent is that I can ping something alongside Power of the Dark Side potentially, if need be. So probably letting the Death Trooper go. Okay, that was a good choice. Let's draw. Avenger, okay. Do we want to just Power of the Dark Side? I want to save the Power of the Dark Side for something bigger, so we can use Starfighter now to kill. I think we're letting Avenger go here. Okay. Draw. Sorry. Cat Bane's good. Yeah. I do, because I don't care. I don't want him to draw 3 cards, because he can do 3 damage anyways. And then, he flips on 5. So, let's just go here, take that out. It would have been nice if we had like a top target or something. Just fill our hand. I think we'll let go of 1 Perilous Position. We have Jango this turn, see what he does. Yeah, Power of the Dark Side is an easy choice. Yep. Wait. Do we want to do that? Because he's going to draw 2 cards. Yes, because he can't do any damage. I mean, he draws the cards, but... Okay. We get to draw, right? Definitely holding on to Avenger now. Anything big, we power the dark side. Anything small. Okay. Sure. Let's get it for one, see if he plays a unit. If there's like a cheap unit, we're going to use Bosk. Yep. Take that out. Okay. Bazine's not bad. Crate Dragon's the card we're worried about. Long term, we do have Power of the Dark Side. I think we can probably let go of Perilous Position. So we're now at Cad Bane territory, which is nice. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay. Do we need restock? Probably not. We're getting to a place right now where I probably want a Bazine to steal any Crate Dragons so that we can steal one, power the dark side if he has two in his hand. Okay. Sure. Let's go ahead and Bazine. Well, he's 2 HP. He could force choke us, so let's get in for an attack first. Okay, nice. Let's Bazine. I mean, Limited Power is probably the best card. This can do 4 and draw a card, but this can... I don't know. Maybe it is aggression. Okay. We can... top target... plus what? Or we just Rattles Fall. You already claimed the initiative, right? So we're just gonna Rivals Fall, I think. Power's not bad either, because then we can get a little bit of value. But let's just... yeah, I mean, we're losing Cad Bane either way, but we're getting to Avenger. So let's just do that. We know he's going to kill our Cad Bane with unlimited power and our Bazine, which is fine. Okay. Fellow Dragon's a nice find. Tech is nice as well. Can pull that out now at any time. Another one of those, which is funny. Okay, well. Sure. Each opponent discards a card. ISB agent. Definitely claiming the initiative. I think we're good where we're at. I think we're just going to swing in for 8 here. We have so much removal in our hand that we don't even need Avenger to use its ability. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing they could do. Just Just killing everything, right? And that's going to be a good game. Okay. It's pretty fun. Alrighty. I think I like our hand. Good early interaction between Clown Rider, Elite Starfighter, and Darkside. Let go of one Cad Bane. I really don't want to get rid of both. I think we're gonna have to let Bounty Hunter Crew probably go. We have another copy in the list. Just go ahead and take that out. Alrighty. More good stuff. Man. So 3 can play Power or Starfighter here. 4 we play the Ether. 5 we play Bosk. 6 we play Rebel's Fall. So it's gotta be Cad Bane. Unfortunately. We still have Snoke and Avenger. Exhausting this isn't the worst thing, because if he keeps it on the board, then he has to pay a fee. Yeah, so, and I kind of don't care if he pays a fee. Some more good choices here. I'm going to put Bazine in our resources. Okay. We just want to trade. Probably. I think that's a good one to just power. We can just exhaust next turn. Yeah, because we can just exhaust Quinlan. We can either use Death Trooper or Bosk here. I think I probably want to use Bosk though when Quinlan comes out. That's an interesting card. I'm not too worried about that. I'm gonna bring out Jango. Then we're going to attack in with Jango and exhaust. Then we can either kill. Okay. He's at 7. So if we hit him for 4, we also have a Rival's Fall. So we're gonna use Bosk. Kill that. And we're gonna use Rival's Fall after he swings in for damage here. Because Bosk's ability is amazing. I mean, that's fine. We could just attack him with Bosk, kill him, and then Rival's Fall. Or go face, ping his 6-drop or 8-drop. He's probably going to play a home 1 is what I would guess. So we probably just want to use Rival's Fall on that actually. Yep. Plays a R2. D2 or Sundari. Or that, okay. Yeah, let's just take our 3 and get rid of home 1. Alrighty, so we're back to that card being out there. So he's staying at 6 resources, it looks like. Maybe he'll go to 7 here, but he kept the Falcon, so that's something. I kind of want to play Pershing and start building our hand size, especially because we're not going to be able to exhaust. How many life gain things have we used? We have not used any. It's tough. We can always pull these back too. Oh, we have the initiative? I didn't realize that. That does make a difference. Elite Starfighter's so good in here. Such a good card in general, but it's just amazing in here. Not too worried about that. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't... Okay. Not sure why he did all that. Maybe he clicked the wrong thing. No. Okay. We are going to put the top target onto the L337 because he can always send the Falcon back to his hand. More top targets. I think I'm going to resource one of them, just because I want, in case I hit Avenger next turn, or even Avenger with this Pershing here. Okay. Sure. Do I want to kill the Falcon? Probably. Another Falcon. Okay. All the Falcons, right? Oh, he brought one back, I guess. Isn't that cute? We're about to have an empty hand, which is fine, because, I mean... I guess he could play an L337 and then just get rid of both our top targets. It's possible. At this point, we're just looking for Snoke and Avenger. Okay, well there's a card that I haven't seen. I am not worried about taking 2 damage at this point. Okay. There's Snoke. It's wonderful. Just get back to 0. Vanquish is good. Okay. Takedown's fine. Bosk is great. At 5. We could play Bosk plus Fel or Vanquish. So yeah, I want to be able to play one or, you know, either one. Because we know he has big stuff. Yep. Good game. Now the good one, man. I mean, this deck feels pretty sweet. A lot of good answers. It's pretty fun to play too. If you're, it's, you know, like I said, it's more of a soft control deck, but it's pretty fun. We definitely have a lot of good answers here. I think we can let go of one perilous position. I don't want to let go of Vigilance. It's not like an ideal hand, but it's definitely not bad. So we're choosing, I mean, it's got to probably be Death Trooper, just because if they try to go space heavy, we have Starfighter. Or they try to, you know, arena dodge and go in the space side of things, then we have the Starfighter for that, for sure. We have Perilous Position. The Death Trooper is really good too for anything on the ground, but so next turn we're either playing Dark Side or Starfighter probably. Death Trooper would be an option too if it's on the ground. Alright, let's let Vigilance go and just kind of give ourselves versatility for the first few turns. Okay. The problem is Power of the Dark Side is still the best play because they have Wing Leader and stuff like that. But even if they Wing Leader, we're still able to kill it with Death Trooper next turn, so the Power of the Dark Side becomes less effective. Let's just try it this route. Okay. Okay, there's a card. That's a card. Vanquish is definitely a card too. Perilous Position is pretty good. I'm gonna hold on to the Laser Blast for sure. So, I guess the route we could take here. Do we want to just kill? Oh, we could play Lead Starfighter and just kill his Battlefield Marine. Or exhaust it. Decisions. What's more important? Vanquish is coming down next turn, so we can vanquish one of these things. Okay. We're attacking into... Kill. We're gonna attack into Sundari. Why is this not working? Is our opponent is pressing a bunch of buttons and it's like lagging the game? Okay. Just see what he does. He thinks we might have takedown, so he might not pull out Sabine. I don't know. Still got 4 resources too. Yep, that's what we were thinking would happen. That is fine. So let's go. Let's go Starfighter. Does that even make sense at this point? Trying to set up knockouts with Jango is kind of the idea here. Okay. Gotta love that card, right? Daring Raid is an interesting card. Nice. Find the Rival's Fall was nice. Alright, we're 5. So we're definitely vanquishing Battlefield Marine. He could have Poe. Okay, there's a card, yep. Okay, that's fine. Totally fine with that. Because now we can just Rival's Fall. could actually... Yeah, I think Bravos Fall is the best choice just to... We could Perilous position it, but... That's not doing a ton. Okay. Okay. Damage, damage, damage. I was gonna say Cad Bane would be really nice right here. Taken 3 is a thing. Okay. See what he does. We have Power of the Dark Side for any shenanigans. Okay, well that was good. Yeah, I mean now he has the For a Cause, which isn't great. Yeah. Let's see. I really wish we had a bit of a different hand here. I mean, Fet's Fire Spray is not bad. Power of the Dark Side isn't bad. I just kind of wish we had a turn 1 play. Yeah, that's better. Definitely better. So we're going first too. Do we need the Laser Blast against them? I don't think so. Do I want to just Bazine here and pull out one of their cheap units? Just get rid of the Fet's Fire Spray? I don't know. Okay. If he wants to Tarkin Town that, I'm totally fine with that. Sure. Sure, sure. Okay. We can just exhaust that. Okay. Snoke is amazing against them. I think I want to play the Inferno 4 here. Just kill our boy, ping our guy. Yep, that's exactly why I wanted to play that. These are both good. Okay. What are we getting rid of here? We already resourced the Bounty Hunter crew. I guess a perilous position. Taking some damage. Triple Dark Raid. See what he pulls. Okay. We're gonna just take the 5 here. Honestly, I think so, because Phantom's not going away. And we can Just remove it with Inferno and keep that on board. If that's Fire Spray goes back to his hand, we can Rival's Fall it next turn. And I say we just Jango. Yeah, of course. And we have Rival's Fall. Of course, of course. So we're probably going to use Rival's Fall here if he plays the Fet's Fire Spray. We don't have any removal in our hand currently. So he's swinging for 3, correct? Can swing in with Bosk. He could ping us for 1 though. So let's just go face first with Jango. Okay. Yep. That's kind of what I was talking about. Rival's Fall here, it definitely kills Bosk, but whatever. Yeah. We're gonna keep the Inferno on board. He's probably gonna claim the initiative. Okay. You can use Inferno 4 to exhaust his Fet's Fire Spray next turn. That was a good find. Let Avenger go. See what he does. Okay. Interesting at 4 cost, so that means he might have another triple dark raid. I remember seeing one in his hand earlier. We can capture whatever he does, potentially. Okay, it looks like our opponent disconnected. Not sure, I'll give him a little bit of time here to come back. I do think we were in a pretty good spot with Cad Bane into Snoke into Avenger. So basically, a triple dark raids like a Ruthless Raider. You know, he kills Jango, does 2-door base, go to 21, then we capture the Ruthless Raider, then we play Snoke next turn, and then we probably just sit on the Cad Bane for a couple turns until we can find a little bit of life gain, just because we are kind of getting up there, and I don't want to just give them back Ruthless Raider. But it doesn't look like our opponent's coming back though, so good game. Alright, alright. Would I like to mulligan? No. Alright. I'm gonna have to let go of Fet's Fire Spray. And Vigilance because we have the client. Try to use Inferno here to dig for some early removal, like a takedown. No, Bosk is okay, it's just not what we're looking for right now. Especially because we have a decent 5 resource play. exhaust this, which is good. Injure is definitely not what we're looking for here. Cool thing about that is Inferno can kill Green Squadron next turn and still live. Let's get Client down. Client, if left unattended, could be pretty brutal for them. Okay. Death Trooper's not bad. Depending on what they do here. I definitely like Pershing too. We can squeeze in the enticing reward, and that's pretty good. No takedown, unfortunately. Okay. Well, we're just gonna could use Client here to bounty Green Squadron, and then take the 3, and then use Death Trooper to exhaust Sabine. Okay. Nice. It's all going to plan. Evil Bebop. I just realized that his name was Evil Bebop. That's awesome. Bebop. Rocksteady and Bebop. Alright. Enticing reward on the red 3 is pretty good. See what he does here. We have not used Jango's ability. Say if we get to 4 damage on Sabine flip, that's a win. We have Vanquish for red 3 next turn. Or something bigger. We could also just exhaust red 3 with Inferno, potentially. He's probably wondering, like, what are we gonna do? Because Power of the Dark Side's not it. But Death Trooper is. Okay, well that's even better. I'll take it. Alright, now we're in an interesting position. I think we let Death Trooper go, because all these cards are relevant. So if he, depending on what he does here, okay, that was interesting. Okay, so he's doing the damage with fighters first. Alright, so we'll take takedown and Power of the Dark Side, I think. Most likely. Yeah, just because we already have 2 really good removals. That was interesting. So now he only has 4 resources. Let's just attack in here and exhaust. Fighters. Okay, there's an ECL K2S. Okay, takes 2, that's fine. Then we have a Sabine coming. So we could take down Sabine, vanquish K2SO right now. Take 3 more. better than him just claiming the initiative. So I'm okay with that. If he wants us to discard a card, that's fine too. He really chose that option. That's very interesting. I guess power, because we're probably going takedown into vigilance into the last. Okay. Okay. Didn't see that one coming, but I'll take it. Well, I think now we're just doing vigilance. We have Jango too, that we have not pulled out yet. Maybe that's what he was expecting, and I just completely forgot to play Jango. Which is fine. He's already ECL'd, so I mean, the best he could do is a record for 5. Okay, well, that's not going to happen anymore. I will say that this deck is just a lot of fun to play. Like, I'm very much enjoying it. I think we're gonna let restock go here. We can squeeze in a top target with one of our removals probably, since he's probably just gonna attack in with fleet, I would imagine. He might have a wrecker, which is fine, we just top target it. Yep. It's like I knew what he was gonna do, man. Just take 3. We could have pinged the fleet lieutenant, but I don't want to take 7 when he claims the initiative, so that's why we went that route. Gain our 6. Alright, Bosk is pretty good, Snoke's even better. This is tough because I really like both of these options. I think Snoke is still the best option though. I'm gonna hold on to Bosk. Okay. Well, yeah, Snoke's clearly the best option now. Front 4 is just over there, just pinging away at their health. Wing leader. Yeah, now we're just gonna claim the initiative and get swinging with Bosky. Or Cad Bane's even better. I don't know. It's like when you draw good stuff. Why not, right? So when I say fun, this is what I mean. Okay, didn't expect to see that. Did not expect to see that. He could definitely pull out like a Poe or a Wrecker here. I think a Wrecker's probably his best option, but it's still not great. Yeah, that's not a lot. Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're just going face. He's got to have an answer for Snoke. And we're at lethal, so. I can let Fell the Dragon go, just so I can be able to play Boss plus Takedown. Takedown's very, very good with Snoke, of course, because it kills everything just about. Okay, well, that's cool. I think that's gonna do it. I don't think he can recover from that. He is at 9 resources though, so maybe he has something else. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it. GG. That was a good one. Crystal City. Alrighty. Good game.